Hi, my name is Jonathan Pharaoh, and I'm the Thoughtful Pharaoh. My blog is about everything, really. It's basically just interesting things that I find interesting. My background, very much like my blog, is in a little bit of everything. So I did this degree called Arts and Science, which had me doing everything from biology and chemistry and physics and calculus to more social science like stats and economics, to humanities like writing and logic and classics and all these sorts of things. So I've been writing this series that I call the ABCs of Interesting Things. I first came up with the idea back in December. I wanted a way to practice ABC, D, but I needed a little bit of a framework. So I decided on this ABC thing, that I'd pick one interesting thing for every letter of the alphabet and then write about it. It gives me an opportunity to share interesting stories. It gives me an opportunity to find interesting stories. And I really like the fact that I have this framework, because that way, every week, I sort of know a general topic that I'm going to write about. My favorite one that I've written so far is about dinosaur evolution, so D. And that's because not everyone knows that birds are actually dinosaurs. And I had one professor in university who was really big into taxonomy, which is sort of the study of how you classify living things. And the whole, what makes a dinosaur, how did they go extinct, and how are they all related, is a very murky topic for a lot of people. So I thought I'd sort of elucidate that a little bit, bring it into sort of a more interesting light, because everyone loves dinosaurs, including me. The hardest one to write, they're probably the most recent one actually, the Vitruvian Man one, because it's not something that I know a lot about, so I had to do a lot of research for. I guess one disadvantage of my structure, I love it, but it's hard because it means that every week I have to write, even if I'm not really feeling that inspired. So sometimes that happens and I have to sort of force myself to be inspired, which is kind of what happened with the Vitruvian Man, but I think it turned out pretty well anyways. E, F, G, H. Sometimes the hardest part is actually just stopping writing. With some of them I really just want to go for it and write everything about the topic, but I know that people won't read that. I often struggle with this blog to keep it like added value, to make it so that the readers get something from it that they wouldn't get from just reading Wikipedia or Popular Science or something like that. Needs to be kind of funny and quirky and different, and expose them to something that they might not have otherwise seen. So keeping all that in mind while also being tied to a letter every week can be a little bit difficult. A few weeks into it, I got this email from this group called the Rising Ape Collective, which are down in Bristol. It was about something else. It was about an event that they were having, and I just happened to be on their mailing list. But when I went to their website and I saw that they had this feature section, but it hadn't been sort of added to for a little while. So I sent them an email saying, hey, I think we write in similar styles. I think we might be able to work together. And they said, sure. So ever since, basically, they've been reposting all of my posts. Yeah, we have a nice working relationship. So yeah, you can also check it out, rising-ape.com. And they also do sort of pub quiz events, which sound so much fun, but I'm all the way up here in Edinburgh, so it doesn't really make sense for me to go down to Bristol. But they just had one about volcanoes, and it sounded like a really good fun. So if you'd like to find out about interesting science topics, definitely check out my blog, thoughtfulpharaoh.wordpress.com. And I'm also on Twitter, at FARROWJON, at PharaohJon. And I'll be tweeting about my blog posts, but also interesting things that I find around the web.